Hey, Common fans, here we are again, another Common Hockey Game of the Week. You've got a special guest doing our game with us tonight. Again, Coach Brian Gratz in here. And Brian, we've got the Utah Grizzlies in here. Comets are on a 4-game win streak. We haven't been beaten the new year, which is kind of nice.
Yep.
As a coaching perspective, you just said you've got a couple players on this. You've had a couple players on this Utah team, and they're very tough coming in here. They're third in the division. We're eighth, I believe. Looking at the big win last night in Indianapolis, overtime win for the Comets. Like I say, that's haven't been beaten in 2019. What do you think the guys have got to do? They're going to lose Hodgman tonight. He's not in the lineup.
Crunk suspended
Crunk
too.
suspended.
That's going to affect their physical play. But I know some of the key components for the Comets tonight is to get the D activated in the offense. Utah plays a collapsing type of D in their own zone. They like to build the wall in front with their low players, play the zone up top. So it's going to be incumbent on the defensemen to really move the line, find those holes to get pucks through, but also looking to be attacking from the angles. So if a D rolls to the middle of the ice, we want to make sure that if we're kicking it out to the flanks, we can attack on the backside with our weak side defensemen.
Well, the Comets have got, see how he's so analytical. Comets have got this Weiss kid in from Chicago Wolves. He wasn't playing much of the AHL, but he's got a chance to play here. Played at Ohio State. He's got some decent numbers, and that's something I wanted to talk to you too, because there's a lot of times we'll bring in a player hoping for some good things, American League or whatever, or it's somebody we've signed, and you start looking up their stats. Well, they've only maybe like a college career, 8, 9, 10 goals. Shorter season, a little more emphasis put on practice as it is. They play 2 games on the weekends and stuff. It's not necessarily the low numbers, but when they come in and who they're playing with is a lot of the activity anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And also you have to remember some of these kids, they get into college, they're signing on for a 4-year commitment. So a lot of times first impressions weigh a lot on the outcome of their college career. So if they kind of come in, don't make a great first impression with the coach, sometimes you see guys have a little bit more lackluster numbers, but have the skill to be able to, if given the opportunity, do some good things. But when they come into a pro situation and having the first year, it is a lot about what situations they're given. If they're put in, a fourth line, a 10th forward role here in the ECHL or fourth line in the American League, you're not going to produce a lot of points. And some guys, they sign that American League deal right away because they want to get there and that's where they want to be. But they're in and out of the lineup, not really getting the chances to contribute on the power play or in a top 6 role. So you might see a little bit of a waning in their statistics, but they're given the chance to play with some good players. Having some power play time goes a long way with creating some offense. And with Weiss, he's a guy obviously played last night. He made a huge impact down the middle for the Comets, winning 74% of his faceoffs last night, which is something I know the Comets have really been stressing. So to be able to have that kind of confidence in the faceoff circle can now lead to having more opportunities to create some offense, especially in offensive zone draws.
Well, as a former player and as a former coach, coming into a situation like this, whether you're being called up from the SPHL or being brought down from the American Hockey League, how much is attitude going to take these kids? I mean, what is it? Is there something that you as a coach has to talk to them before the game starts, or when they come in, do they have an attitude? Do you see it have an attitude, or the guys are getting a little anxious because they're coming from the SPHL? Do they want to do too much, or not? They're afraid to try to do too much to get into the role, or how's that work?
I think it's 2 completely opposite situations. So if you're bringing a kid up from the Southern Professional, they're excited. They're going to do whatever you tell them. And a lot of times those guys can have a great impact because you say, hey, I want you to get pucks deep, go finish your checks. And when you get in the meat and potatoes of the season, January, February, guys are banged up. You get someone who has that extra pep in their step, they can really give you a good momentum boost. But they're very excited. The SPHL guys are gonna make some mistakes because it is a faster type of game. But at the same time, you get a good positive vibe. So when they go out there and do something, everybody gets excited for them. Conversely, when a guy comes down from the American League, It really depends on the player and the person, but more often than not, they're obviously disappointed. They believe they're American League players or NHL players, disappointed that they're being sent down. So it's a situation as a coach, you bring them in, you talk to them, you try and let them know and set a plan out on how you're going to help them get back to where they want to be. And the sooner you can get them to buy into what you're trying to do and let them know that you're on their side and are going to support them and really push them to produce so that they can get back to where they think they should be, that's when you get that buy-in and you get those guys really producing the way they're capable of.
I think that's pretty much the way Gary Graham's always talked to me about, and I know I've heard you say that before. That's kind of a neat thing to know.
Yeah,
a lot of psychology.
You know what? As a coach in this league, it's so much less about X's and O's and more about personnel management, and I wouldn't call it babysitting, but sometimes it can feel like that. But at the same time, the players have to understand that a coach has their back and they have their best interests in mind, because as much as it's about the team, a lot of players in today's day and age are very much about what can we do for them individually and how can we help them complete their individual goals. So as a coach, you have to try and align 20 different individual goals into one team goal, and that's always going to be a tricky balancing act, but I think Gary Graham's done an unbelievable job of that here in Fort Wayne for years, and you see how 2019's gone so far. I only expect to see more of that.
Well, I'm excited to listen to Brian throughout this game. We got the Utah Grizzlies in here tonight. Let's see if we can make it 5 in a row. We'll be right back with the start of the first period.
Please welcome tonight's hometown hero, Assistant Chief Andy Oswald. Assistant Chief Oswald has been employed at the Wabash Fire Department for 13 years, serving as a firefighter, EMT, paramedic, and instructor. In 2016, he was appointed the Assistant Chief in charge of EMS operations. He's excelled in every position held at the Wabash Fire Department. As an instructor, he has taken the training to new heights and has trained firefighters not only at the Wabash Fire Department, but fire departments throughout Wabash County. Since 2016, under his leadership, the department has improved their cardiac save rate and decreased scene times for stroke patients. The Comet organization and our fans would like to thank you for your service for the community of Wabash. Once again, please welcome Assistant Chief Andy Oswald. Now, fans, please rise and remove your hats and welcome Tom Didier with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
Whoops. Tom Didier, you got a little microphone goof up there, but there's a guy you probably listened to since you were a kid.
Since I was a kid, that is what the national anthem sounded like to me growing up. So he's still the voice of an angel. You gotta love it.
The Gratz family's had their season tickets over there on the home side for a number of years. I can't remember when you haven't.
A member of the Gratz family has had season tickets to the Komets for every year except for the very first year of their existence.
Amazing.
So Grandpa on down to my father, my uncles, always been big supporters, and growing up running up and down the ramps here in the before we raised the roof here in Fort Wayne.
Yes.
I was definitely a troublemaker. Got yelled at one time or two.
I can believe that. Yeah, that was the Gratz family has been in the automotive rebuilding business for very successful all a number of years.
Yep, you know, Grandpa started it with Al Gratz Body Shop. My dad opened up his Dante Gratz Body Shop, and since then, my dad's retired. My uncles who took over Al Gratz have retired, and but it was definitely good to us. And the good thing is that here in Indiana, with the fantastic weather we have outside, this is body man weather right now.
That's for sure.
They're loving it.
Well, starting a goal, as you see him there with autos zoomed in on him, is Joe Canada. He's got a 2.42 goals against average. He's played in 19 games, or it had 19 starts, I should say. At the other end, we've got Lucas Hafner, played last night very well, 2.64 goals against average. He's got also 19 games at the start. And referees in charge tonight, linesman Jake Davis wearing 91, Trent Williams 48, and Stephen Rouliard wearing number 3 on his back with the orange armbands, as Otto always likes to call them floaties, Brian.
Well, one thing I did want to point out with minor league hockey and the ECHL, you have ever-changing affiliations, but this right here, the Utah Grizzlies, affiliated with the Colorado Avalanche, basically taking the place of the Colorado Eagles, the team that the Komets met their demise to in the playoffs last year. So some familiar faces that I'm sure Coach Graham remembers from last year's Western Conference Finals. So maybe exact a little revenge on some of the personnel there.
Well, they've got some big boys here, and right off the
there
bat.
We go.
It might be Waugh, but right there again, Brady Shaw, Brian, he's made an impact since he's come back. Kind of slowed down a little bit. That first night he had a goal, he had some nice body contact, but right there, put him on the board.
You know, it's one thing Coach Graham said that they wanted to do is come out, get a fast start, because Utah is a very strong team, highly skilled. They want to get the puck deep and really attack and start imposing their will. You see that. First things first, puck gets below the goal line, immediately get it above and right to the net, find some loose change, and that's a rarity there against Mr. Kanata. He's an upper echelon goaltender, so to kind of give up a short side one like that, hopefully we could keep the pressure going and pop in another one here soon.
Well, I'm surprised we gave up the puck right away off the opening face-off, but Comets gained possession again. Got to see Weiss out there, Brian. He's wearing number 17. Yeah, I expect some good things about him. Not a big player, 5'11", but he got a good background with Ohio State.
He's got a great pedigree. I mean, we've talked before, the Big Ten Conference in college hockey has really become one of the premier conferences out there, and Ohio State has been one of the better teams in college hockey as of the last handful of years. So it's exciting to have the Komets get someone like that of that pedigree here, and I know he had a tremendous impact in the face-off circle last night there in Indy.
Well, you said he's won 75% of them. That's pretty impressive.
That's a good first game, and something I know the Komets and Coach Graham said that they desperately needed, a little bit more consistency and dominance in that face-off circle.
Nice little job as he tips it outside the. That's Sidlowski tipped it outside the blue line. Utah with it.
You know, one thing you see there in Utah's transition, they're very controlled. They get it. Their center swings away from the direction of the puck, and when that happens, the idea is to start opening up that far side of the ice, which they hit him. So the Komets are going to have to be aware, and our low center in the neutral zone is going to have to keep track of where he goes.
Petroselli after it. Komets still have it in the offensive zone. Moving around there was Anderson. Picking it up is Walters. Ryan Walters, matter of fact. There's a Ryan Walters that played the National Hockey League, very successful. kind of wanted to.
Well, I believe this Walters here, he's been around
Minnesota,
for.
I know. Yeah.
This Walter's been around for a while. He's always been one of the top tier players in the ECHL. I think he's had stops in Rapid City and Utah here, a point per game, a leader.
Nice pass.
Nice, coming off the bench, get some entry here.
That didn't hit the netting. That's where we're looking at there. They was thinking it might have hit the netting.
So right here you see Binkley walking that line and really looking to attack from our defense here. That's a big emphasis point here for the Komets is how do we get our D more active into the play. Today's game, it's not about letting your 3 forwards create offense. It's a 5-man unit has to create offense. So that's an emphasis right there. Coach Graham and Coach Boudreau have said, defensemen, when you get the puck, we got to gain middle ice in the offensive zone so we can start changing angles and start confusing defensive zone coverages more.
Utah gets it. Looks like it could be an icing, and it will be all the way back down to the other end. To the right of Kanata, goaltender.
So these offensive draws, maybe sometimes fans think they're unassuming. You're only 2 minutes and 14 seconds into the game, but you know, you force them to ice the puck. Gives us another chance to put together a set piece, is what we call them for our face-offs. So if we can have some dominance in the face-off circle, we can look to create some offense right off these draws.
Picking it up is Reichert off the boards. And again, going all the way down, they're going to wave it off. Cody Saul whips it around the far side. Now not sure why he couldn't have got that. Onside, going in after it is Carroll. Binkley hard behind the net.
Way to stick with it there by Binkley.
Yeah. Right now, nice pass right on the old tape. Shaw was just about ready to make a nice attack into the attacking zone.
Fort Wayne coming on a change, but one thing I like here, you see the emphasis. Campana's been out there for a full shift, but he stays to pressure their defense so that we can get fresh bodies out here and be able to keep that puck sustained in their zone until the reinforcements arrive. I really like that emphasis there that Coach Graham was making.
Like you just said, he's getting, he's going off right now. He's been on a little while.
Well, yeah, so the one thing.
Penalty, yeah, okay.
Yeah, looks like it is. Yeah, one thing I know, like as a coach, we always say is, you know, once you're getting toward the end of the shift, you chip it in. You don't want to see all 5 guys just go to the bench for a change. We want to get someone in there to hound the puck so that they can't just have a free pass coming out of their own zone.
Right.
So JC did a really nice job there. Unfortunately, now we head on to the penalty kill.
And he was as he was skating across the red line, he was also, Brian, looking for that pass that he could just go ahead and just dump it in the offensive zone, and then he could go off.
That's right. JC's a smart player, and that's the type of situational awareness that I think you're seeing more out of from the Komets as the season has worn on. You know, I know that, you know, sometimes when you're kind of having an up and down year, you want the guys to buy into something and take ownership of some things, and the Komets have done a great job blocking shots, being better on penalty kill, and making better decisions in right situations. So they've done better, and as a result have started to string together some multiple wins.
Well, Utah ranked 6th in the power play at 20%. Komets ranked 10th in the penalty kill at 85%.
This will be a good matchup. You know, the one thing, Utah's been without one of their best players here due to call up right before Christmas. Caleb Herbert, he's a former player of mine, played for me last year. He's an extremely talented player, was really driving the train for them on the power play through the first third of the season or so. And, you know, kudos to him for getting that opportunity to be up with the Colorado Eagles, who are now in the American League. But you know, now it's for them looking for other guys to step up, and one guy for Utah who has is another former player of mine from last year, JT Hankey, a rookie, joined me out of college at Lake Superior State last year.
He's got 12 goals. And he's not a big kid, 5'9". So.
And he missed he re-signed with Greenville to start this year, got hurt in training camp, subsequently only played 1 game for them before they outright released him, I believe, and he ended up joining on here with Utah, and he's kind of in and out of the lineup right away because they had a lot of firepower. But now he's getting that opportunity with them missing a lot of guys due to call-up. So,
Nice.
and he's made the most of it.
Nice deflection there as we get a stoppage of play for the net being moved. It was a crazy game in Indianapolis last night. Komets got down 1-0, then they came back, went ahead 2-1. Then they got tied up in the third period and went on to win in like 10 seconds or something to the overtime.
Yeah, you know, that's always one of the best things as the road team. If you're going to go to overtime, it's a hard-fought game. Get that puppy done with right away so you can get back on the road, get home when you know you got another one the next night. So
yeah, that was awesome. Petroselli did a great job of putting the puck in the net.
Well, I know last night definitely took a little bit of a toll, obviously, with Crunk getting a little bit of a suspension. I think Hodgman a little nicked up. So, you know, hopefully speedy recovery there. But I also want to make sure that we're mentally prepared for a new opponent, someone you haven't seen before.
Right.
I think one thing you're kind of seeing is a little bit of a feeling out phase here in the first 5 minutes. Obviously, Utah with the power play. You see they're running a little bit of a spread here on their power play. Nice little pick
I like
there.
that, how Ottenbright got knocked down a little bit as he went to the front of the net. Well, and Utah won again last night. Come on, got to be more.
That's a tough play to make,
that.
especially when you're on the penalty kill to be turning pucks over just inside the offensive blue line. That's a situation where you got to make, if you're not going to take it to the net and shoot it or drive with it, you got to make sure it gets deep.
Well, they won 3-0 last night in Wheeling, and Kevin St. Pierre, former Comet goaltender, you remember him from those days?
I backed him up. I lived with him for a time.
Is that right?
Old Frenchie, he was a mentor of mine, so we still stay in touch. And
he's driving the bus for Utah.
He's driving
Isn't that
the
amazing?
bus. He's
and we got another penalty going to the box.
Yeah,
he was upstairs. He said they got in at 4 o'clock this morning from Wheeling. So
Frenchie, he's not only the bus driver, he owns the bus, and he has his own bus company now.
Isn't that super?
And he's doing well. The family's doing well out there. I think they were based in Wichita, if I do believe.
Yeah.
But Frenchie, he's one of a kind. Let me tell you.
That is so cool. Well, it's not. It's kind of neat. You think of a bus driver. Well, he lowers. Hey, he's enjoying it. He's still around the guys, and you know, I'm sure they know his background.
Oh, absolutely. And and if they don't, they wonder what that guy's goalie equipment's doing in the trailer when he pulls up. And,
does he always bring it along?
I believe he does, because I know he's suited up a few different times. He had to play for Wichita a couple years ago. So
isn't that something?
He's hey, and let me tell you, Frenchie's still got it.
Oh yeah, Kevin St. Pierre, great guy. I know he loves coming back to Fort Wayne and visiting.
I mean, I think I'd like to see his number go up in the rafters at some point. He did a lot of great things here in Fort Wayne, but moreover than that, he's a fantastic person. And
nice move there.
There you go,
Gibson. It's those little things that really mount up, pass between the legs, behind the back, and.
Well, the one thing you see, Fort Wayne did a nice job of, they do what's called a surround. Once there's a battle in the corner, they bring pressure above and below the puck, so that way we know if we have a chance to get the puck, we just have to do a little bump to the middle of the ice, because all the pressure's locked up in the corner. Fort Wayne is very disciplined in that respect and did a nice job.
Petroselli and Sidlowski both do a little forechecking there.
You got to be careful giving up the line like that so easily.
Yeah.
Sagged off, gave them that easy entry, and then, you know, players in this league are good enough that if you give them a couple feet inside the blue line, they're going to make something happen. Cody Soul with a great block there. That's a heart and soul move right
14
there.
14 seconds to go in the penalty. Komets on the board first. Utah with 6 guys over 6'2" and above.
Oh, buddy, careful.
He's making them pay for it in front of the net.
Yep.
And that's what we've been needing, believe me. They've needed to get a little more physical in front of the net.
And that's why they brought in Craig Sescon. You know, obviously he had a stop here many
Right.
years ago.
Yep.
He was actually a guy that I tried to recruit myself, and then at that point in time, he ended up going to Europe, spent the last few years there. But bringing in someone like Craig, somebody who the type of physical brand of hockey he's going to bring, but he's also bringing a veteran presence to that back end to really kind of help anchor some things down. I think that was a great move. I think it's paid some dividends here for the Komets as well.
No, he's 32. I mean, surely he's not done yet. I mean, he's got still a few more years left in him. Shasma, the old man on the team at 35, and he still contributes quite a bit to this hockey club.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, on any team, it's important to have leadership guys, and whether it's Shaftsma who wears the C, or you bring in some good quality secondary leadership guys who've been through the battles, know what it takes to win games, not just in the playoffs, but where it's the most difficult, which is in January and February, when guys are beat up or called up and you got a mishmash roster. Having guys like that to really kind of set the tone and make sure that the details are
You
followed.
guys are always looking for players. I mean, it just doesn't stop once the season started, that's for sure.
Oh, no, it is a year-long process every single day. For me, I still have all of my spreadsheets and things like that. We're constantly tracking major, junior. You're tracking all the college teams, Division I and Division III. You have tabs on guys who are over in Europe because that European window is coming up here in about a month. So you're constantly recruiting, and that's the one thing my wife has been a little thankful of, is that my phone isn't attached to the side of my head like it usually was for the last couple of years.
What is the deadline for these guys?
So
Final roster deadline.
Oh, I mean, the final roster is, you can bring in guys all the way up until and into playoffs with amateurs and college guys, but there is a European transfer deadline, which is February 15th usually, and what that means is if there's a guy currently playing over in Europe, they have until February 15th to be back in the States having signed a contract in the ECHL, and vice versa. They can't leave the U.S. and go to Europe after that point either.
Of course, the college season ends a little earlier than the professional season ends, so there's always a chance to bring in a rookie out of the college ranks, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that is where a lot of our scouting and talking with college coaches and talking with agents, because guess what? Every one of these college kids has an agent or a family advisor, and all of that. And so we know who's out there, and we're talking to them to find out who's going to be a good fit for us. But, that college window, it ends anywhere from right around the end of February all the way through April, as you see with the Frozen Four and things like that. So sometimes, as a coach, you got a guy, he's pretty well committed. Here's a good little look right there.
Oh, boy, was that boy, Shaw went right to the net. Campagna
did a nice little
little pass, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, with the college, sometimes you're working on a guy and he's committed, he's ready to go, and then next thing you know, their team just starts winning in their conference tournament, and then they win their conference tournament, gets them into the NCAA tournament, and a guy you thought you were going to have maybe middle of March, you don't see until the last day of the regular season sometimes.
Utah bringing it out over the line. Asmus, unusual name. Inside the line. Shasma couldn't control it. They're working on it. Kukali with it. There's that little diamond that I like to say, right in front of the goaltender. I want to keep that puck away from him. If I got, that little area down the hash marks,
nice
I guess.
Look there.
Kukali can't keep it in.
As a former goaltender and even as a coach, yes, I absolutely hate when my defensemen or forwards try to take that puck right in front of your own goal. It's just a high danger area.
Oh, yeah.
When you're turning those over, we call them you're throwing pizzas up the middle. You're just delivering it right to the other team. So here's a nice little play. One thing with Utah, they collapse so hard on the puck in the corner. The Komets, we talked about the D getting active on the line, but we also have to change sides with the puck. So you'll see guys kind of rolling off high to the side, and sometimes you have to change.
Campagna got hit pretty good right in front.
He's
that's Kamras.
Komets now with the extra attacker here on the delayed penalty.
Didn't mean to jump up there on you that with you.
No, you're fine.
The Kamras got popped in front of the net as a delayed penalty.
Looks like he's all right, and he's back to it here. But now here's something the Komets have been talking about, is taking advantage of the opportunities they've started to gain over the last couple games on the power play. Had a lot of nice scoring chances last night there in Indy, a couple point blank ones that, whether it was a misfire, missed the net, put it back into the goalie. One of the emphasis is getting guys to understand, hey, we're getting chances, they're gonna fall, but at some point you need someone to step up and make the play and find the back of the net with the chances that they are garnering.
Well, I've got a TV timeout, and one going to the net, or to the bench, I should say. It looks like it's Asmus, the guy I was just talking about. Got a little extra physical in front of the net.
But I know it's been good to see Kamras, getting back up, because I think he's really had a real positive impact with the Komets ever since he came from South Carolina there. So seeing him get up there, obviously, since we're missing Hodgman tonight, you need to have all your guns ready to go and feeling good here, especially moving into a power play. It's a 4-minute power play. Must have drawn a little bit of blood.
Yeah. Kamras staying on the bench. I think he's the one that got decked there, but might have maybe bit his lip.
Man, I've seen it all. I've seen it all back in the old IHL when I was playing with Chalker, Drouin, backing up St. Pierre. I mean, you see guys like Worrelton, he'd bite his lip if someone came up high on him, or you see some other guys who, we'd play against guys on Kalamazoo who just absolutely would do whatever it could to get that extra double minor if they could.
You brought the name Worrelton up. How could you do that?
Oh man, I have never heard so many. There you go.
Oh boy, what a chance! He was a wild man.
He was. Sure. He was one of the softest giants off the ice.
Off the ice, yeah, I can imagine.
Let me tell you, I thought I had a big head. That man had like a planet revolving over top of his shoulders.
Oh yeah. I remember him calling me, asking for. See, that's what I don't like.
I know you. We were talking.
Oh, there's a little acting going on there on that one.
We were talking before the game about that drop pass option, and it's easy to see when they have an ill-advised drop, but those are situations where your D has to make the call, and he has to understand.
Oh, that's going to the net. I like that. Out to the point, Lowney.
Right now, 2 grade A chances there. Lowney goes to shoot the puck right into their defender. We need him to start making some better decisions up top. There you go. Look at that, battling for the
look at that, out in front. Nice move by Sadlowski behind the net, throws it over the top of the net.
That's the type of creativity you get from a player of that caliber. It's incredible. But, talking about the drop pass, a lot is incumbent on that defenseman who's bringing it up to make the right decision with it. And with the world of video and pre-scout, teams know what your structure's going to be. But with that drop option, with the 2 guys trailing, you have so many different options that you can run through. Sometimes a defenseman gets locked into doing one thing and then something bad happens because he's telegraphing it. So he has to make a better read there in order to avoid the turnover and gain some entry.
Waugh got thrown out of there on the face-off, and Kamras had to go in there. Again, he said, talked about Kamras. He's got 14 goals, not too shabby.
And he's really, here we go. Komets are going to go on a 5-on-3 power play here.
It's a slash, broke his stick, as Seoul had a problem last night with stick breaking in the Indianapolis game.
I think Joe Franke might have been cutting him in half on him. So,
do you believe if he's still around.
Oh, I grew. Joe's known me since I was just a little guy running around here, and he's always been great to me. And
oh yeah,
he's a staple here and treats the guys like gold. And that's he's another facet of this Fort Wayne organization that really does make it first class.
Well, we've got
a long
2-man
5-on-3
advantage here. Let's get something going on this one. Hard off the boards and makes its way down to the other end.
You know, the importance of face-offs, especially on the power play, is huge. I mean, just by losing that, it took us 20 seconds to get back into the zone, and we lost possession. So that is a huge chunk of the power play that you lose just by losing a face-off on that power play to open it up. So, you know, that's where that Weiss is going to come in handy when he gets those opportunities to play on the power play. It's going to be huge.
Oh boy, and it whistle.
Old Steven must have had some instructive view of the puck there.
Yeah, I guess so. Now face off to the left of Joe Canada. Yeah, this is the team, as Brian brought up, this is the team that was moved and kind of took over the ECHL with a couple of new teams in this league this year. Of course, Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Way out there northeast. Man, we've got 3 games coming up. I think it's next month out there.
Well, you know, it's I've never been up there. I've talked to a lot of guys because it is a former American League city, and a lot of the guys say that it's a very tough place to play for a lot of different reasons. It's a loud building. It's well attended, but also I guess it's a great town, and it's beautiful and almost picturesque out there. So. It'll definitely be a nice experience for the Komets to go out there, but they got to keep the eye on their business there when they get out there.
Oh yeah, Steve Fletcher played out in the American League out there.
Were they the St. John's Fog at the time?
I think in what the heck were they? Sherbrooke Canadians maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't remember right at the moment. As Komets trying to work it around. We got 50 seconds.
There you go.
There we go.
So one of the things here, you get a 5-on-3 and you can always hear the fans saying, shoot, shoot. Well, it's about making sure that we're getting the right opportunity from a good position, because the penalty kill is going to be a little bit more restrained. They're not going to overextend themselves. They're just going to look to get into some shot lanes. But one thing that the Komets were trying to set up is what you saw there with Lowney. He passes it down and then comes through, which allows, I think it was Marco, to roll off his hip and then find Campagna right in the middle of the ice for a grade A opportunity. And those are the things on the power play that Fort Wayne's been waiting for, cashing in when you're in position for a grade A scoring chance. You hear that?
He's really been playing well.
JC, 17th of the year. That poor kid played for 4 different teams last year. He's bounced around. It was a situation where he'd go somewhere that had a lot of guys called up, then they'd all come back, and sometimes that's the nature of the business when you're trying to break in at this level.
Right.
It's not as much about talent as it is about your affiliate. So it's good to see he's found a home here and he's been making the most of it.
Well, Barron taking it behind the net. As Komets are going to waste away this last penalty. They could have taken advantage of it. Here we go. Come on, pick it up. There we go. 10 seconds to go. We see if we can't get something going. On the near side. Batista over the line. Oh, I like to see him just get into the corner and start working something on it. Both teams full strength. Bringing it out is De Jong.
De Jong, I think a member of the Colorado Eagles team from last year. Obviously a solid player, part of their championship in Colorado as a contracted guy last year. So, back here in the ECHL, he had a short stint up with the Eagles in the American League not too long ago. But sure,
nice
sure he's
job
very
there
familiar.
By Ciro. Ciro's a big kid too, Brian.
Yeah, he is.
Not.
And when he starts, and when he plays to his side, and notice Binkley walking down.
Oh man, nice shot though.
Those are that's all about getting the D activated into the play. That's a good read by Binkley, jumping in there and leaning into one.
Yeah, you've got to be very confident when you're a defenseman jumping into the offensive play. You got to be. Your teammates have to be aware that you are going to do that, and someone comes back to cover you. Hopefully, cover for you.
Absolutely, that's always one of those things as a coach. You want to have more communication on the ice so that when the D dives in, forwards are telling the D, "I got you. I'm covering. I'm covering." But one thing that we talked about that Coach Graham's told his team is that the D need to have the green light, and we want to get them more active. And that's jumping in the play, jumping down the zone, exchanging with the forwards. It's called a high scissor, getting them just to create some confusion for the opposition when they're in their own zone. So then they start saying, "Oh, am I supposed to go down with him? Who am I supposed to cover?" So that all comes with that motion that you create with your defenseman.
Well, Waugh getting thrown out of that face-off again, so.
I think he's going for the record on most times kicked out of a draw today. He's getting close.
Nice play in the body. That's a good job. They work on it here. Kukali with it behind the net. Of course, you can't be, standing still. You got to keep working. Got to keep moving. Here we are. Just out of the reach of Campana.
Kukali's got to be a little bit more decisive coming out of his own end. I mean, there's no reason to pull the high flip right into their teeth. Campana did a nice job poking it free, but, we can get that puck. We can get our feet moving north. We can move it to some of our supporting players as well.
Oh, there's going to be a hook. No call. Wow. I'm surprised he's a hook or a hold on that one.
Lowney actually recovered
nice move
nicely.
by Sidlowski. Oh.
Nice
Boy,
save.
Sean's got that quick release, Brian, that's just, as a goaltender, what are you doing?
It's so deceptive, too, because when a player keeps his feet moving and releases it in stride, it's hard to read because growing up and through a lot of levels, a lot of guys set their feet and then bring it back to shoot. But he moves, and it's all.
And sometimes, Brian, he's almost off kilter.
Yep.
He's at a different angle where you wouldn't be taking a shot when your body's that angle. I don't know if you people understand what I'm trying to say, but you don't know when he's going to let it go.
And that's why he's a guy who can score goals. And frankly, he's a guy who can score goals at a lot of levels. And
yeah, might have been tipped in front.
I think it got tipped in front, but that's where the D getting pucks through, having the traffic, and good things can happen. But jumping on all over Utah here, and one of the better goalies in the league, Canada, has got to be wondering, what did I just run into here? 11 shots, 3 goals against. It's a little bit of an uphill battle for him here right now. It's like Camras.
Might be a deflection.
Camras getting a piece of it.
Oh, boy, it hit the post too, Brian.
Just like he drew it up.
Yep.
Well, and then you know what? Comets put it deep and go right back to work. This is the Fort Wayne mentality that I was used to seeing when I was coaching against them, even back in the Central League. It's when they smell blood in the water, they put the foot on the neck and they press down, and that's good to see right off the face-off. Don't give them an inch to breathe.
Offside all the way down, I believe they're going to call that. Well, again, Camras.
Good things happen when you go to that area, right to the house. And, that big body, but having the skill to be able to redirect that puck up and over, obviously it changes levels, hits the post, goes in while applying a screen. So that's you can't really fault Canada here on a couple of these goals. But, this is a Fort Wayne team brimming with confidence right now.
Nice way to come back. There you go. Even Doug and I talk about that too quite often, that this new year is brought in to see these players going to the net more. I don't know why, but it's something we've complained about even on Facebook people talking about, why don't they put more guys to the net? Why don't they have a guy in front on the power play, stuff like that. So we got some smart Comet fans.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where, you know, Fort Wayne is a hockey town. The Comets are an institution here, and you know, it's nice when you know, as a team, you have fans who understand the game and know what they're seeing. You know, it's also difficult when things aren't necessarily going your way. But at the same time, Comet fans know their stuff.
Oh my God, it's in! It's in! Another one! I think that Brady Shaw might get that one, but I'll tell you.
I think Tim Branham, the coach of the Utah Grizzlies, is going to have something to say about that one.
Yeah.
But that's just a hard play. It looked like the Utah player was locked up with I think you said Shaw right in front of the net. It's a nice play here, chipping it to the net. We're going. He's right there. You know what?
Yeah.
Shaw doesn't make any contact with the goalie there.
No.
He's standing there. Puck just kind of bounces around.
The goaltender knocked it off, I believe.
I think it hit. Cannot have punched it out. Hits Shaw. He punches it. Oh no! It just popped right up and over him there.
Wow.
That's a tough bounce, Mr. Kanata. We may be seeing a new Tendy here after the period.
Yeah, and you feel bad, like you said, Brian. I don't think it's all on his watch there.
No, that's one of those things that having been a goaltender and then becoming a coach, sometimes you have to make the change in net, regardless whether it's his fault or not, and it's a wake-up call to the team because, you know, the goalie is the heartbeat, is the pulse of your team, and you know, when you make that change.
You know, I thought your parents loved you. Why in the heck did they ever let you play goal?
Well, you know what? I was the one who said I wanted to play goal because I thought everybody loved the goalie. Because, you know, I'm 7 years old. Everybody goes up, gives them the old stick tap after every game. I'm like, everybody loves the goalie.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. That's for sure. There's a trip.
Yeah.
He sold that one a little bit, I'll say that.
Yeah, he did. A little talk about Sescon behind the net, and
they're going to try and push and shove
looks
Lowney
like
around here.
Travis Barron is talking over the Lowney. Of course, Barron's only 6'1", and Lowney's what, 5'8", 5'9", maybe.
On his toes,
On his toes. I tell you, there's a kid right there, Brian. I think that we've got a lot out of for a guy that's not a big defenseman, burly defenseman coming there. He's got a lot of offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's the type of defenseman that you're seeing more and more of in the game today.
Do you think he played like that in college?
Absolutely. That was 100% his game, is fast, mobile, good skating, joining the play. The college game's a lot more helter-skelter, meaning that it's just go, go, go.
Oh, yeah.
They don't put the reins on too much. It's just everybody's flying 1,000 miles a minute. But that's his game. That's the way. If he wouldn't have been able to get a Division I scholarship at Ferris State if he wasn't playing to those strengths. So this has been his game. I think he's done a good job from when he was a rookie to now, learning how to play more of a man's game and being able to navigate having to move a guy who's 6'6" in front of the net. He's learned how to establish position, use some leverage. And get even better with his stick work as a defender. But offensively, skates well. I'd like to see him get a little bit more decisive with the puck at times, especially power play breakout and then up top. But he's a guy that I still think there's room that he's going to continue to grow and continue to be more and more impactful.
I looked up the clock and we lost that puck. I can't believe we lost the puck in neutral zone like that. But yeah, I was up at Bowling Green here a couple weeks ago and watching Bemidji State play, and it is amazing. As much hockey as I've seen in my life, that is so quick. But then again, you see them come here and play like a Fort Wayne Comet team, it'd be a totally different story.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great period there for the Comets. 4-0, out shooting the Grizzlies 14-7. Getting on the board on the power play, and you saw that was a real catalyst for them to add the third and fourth goals right after that too. So it's a heck of a period.
Well, Brian Grant's with us tonight again, the coach, and we got a 4-0 lead. Let's hope we can keep it up in the second period. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Comet fans, you want to listen a little bit more beyond Comet Game of the Week on Wednesday nights on Access Fort Wayne? We have a new show on WELT produced by the Comets called CometCast.
I am your host, Shane Albarani. You know me from doing the play-by-play on WoWo throughout the season, but now I'm adding podcast hosts to the old resume. Keep an eye out on social media, Twitter, and Facebooks for who our next guest is going to be.
Join Shane Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. for CometCast on WELT.
I backed up. And I backed up Jim, I mean, for an extended period of time, and I mean, he's the man.
Well, we're back with period number 2. Brian and I thought possibly Kanata might be pulled and maybe Kevin Carr would go in, but nope. They're going with their number 1 goaltender and probably had a good tongue lashing down there in the locker room. Let's hope Gary Graham encourage these boys to keep putting the pressure on, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, Utah's going to come out here with a renewed vigor here. Being on the power play for the next minute, you know, they're going to try and capitalize just like the Comets did right out of the gate to start the game. So, and with Kanata, I mean, the goals weren't his fault. Like, he was left out to dry, put in some pretty tough situations, a crappy bounce there for the 4th one that goes up and over him. But, you know, usually some coaches might make the change to try and snap some focus into their team, but, you know, you're halfway through the season. You got to believe Coach Branham knows what buttons to push with his group.
Nice stop there by Hafner, Brian, too. Just that wasn't a big shot on goal, but it got the Utah Grizzlies to slow down a little bit. Everybody's going to go for replacements.
Well, one of the, you know, obviously the goalie's job is to stop the puck, but you know, what separates good goalies from great goalies is how they control the play, rebound placement, knowing when to slow the game down, get a cover, how you play the puck, things like that. And, you know, right here, like we talked about, we know Utah's trying to jump and get something going here with this minute power play. To be able to slow it down, give us a chance to clear the zone on a face-off.
Nice job there by Shaw to put the extra effort in there. He was going down and still was able to knock the puck out of the zone all the way down to the other end. And here's Utah getting over the line.
See, with Fort Wayne, they're running a 1-1-2 in the neutral zone on their penalty kill, which I don't mind. You get your F2, which is usually right at the red line, and he attacks one way or the other to attack the pass.
Oh, here's a nice little break, Brian.
There we go. You got 3 guys in the rush here. Utah providing some back pressure.
Oh.
But one thing the Comets need to focus on, too, with their penalty kill is making sure they're staying up and holding their blue line so that Utah can't have easy entries on the power play.
You know, Comets doing a good job of keeping the pressure on Utah in this.
Well,
the little cover up there is taking them to the boards.
See, it's tough, you know, like your forwards are always expecting your D to be able to get that puck moving north. Oh, what a save by Hafner.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
And again,
a
lot of traffic.
The Fort Wayne D need to tighten up around the net, not allow those second chance opportunities.
Sidlowski and Kamras run into each other here on the near side as Sean was way deep into the net area.
But those that turnover from Sescon, that is something that every coach, I mean, that's why I'm bald. You know, when those things happen, you're just pulling your hair out, and because those are the dangerous points. You had you had full possession, you had forwards moving up ice, ready to attack. You turn the puck over and you give up 3 grade A scoring chances. Hafner tall to the task there.
Had a broken stick as Tecasero takes him out of the play there. On the near side, picking it up is Zahn. Three Comets in there trying to yeah, gets it outside the zone. Here's Ciro with it. Going by himself.
There we go. Good pass on the delay.
Oh, yeah, it was.
That is great vision to find the second wave. I know it was a forward who's in the play here, but same time he finds that delayed trailer coming in. That's how you look to start creating off the rush.
Shasma putting a good effort there, keeping the puck in the zone, and went out for a shift.
Nice play.
On the far side.
Nice job by Shaw there to take possession with the puck with his stick. That is a tough play for a winger on the wall, especially
on his offside.
On his offside, to pick it with your stick and have the wherewithal to take a look before a lot of forwards will just chip it off the boards.
Right.
He takes a look and is able to make a play instead of just giving the puck away.
And that was a giveaway there.
That's the giveaway where you want to have that patience to look.
Yep. Binkley on the side. As it goes in front.
Pinball's a little bit right in front of him off Lowney's foot, but Utah maintains possession. JC does a nice job tracking that D down.
Comments are getting a penalty here, but I'm not sure what. It was a Saul in front, I think. But
Campagna had the stick at parallel, okay, which means he had his stick about waist height, and he got it into the player. And as soon as it comes off the ice like that, a referee's going to look for the first indication for a hook.
I missed it. I thought it was going to Saul, but it's gone to Campagna.
No, Campagna took his defenseman, dove in from the point. Campagna did a great job taking him down, but he had his stick at parallel to the ice. And regardless of if he gave him a tug or not, he had that stick which blocked that guy's hands. So they're going to call a hook every single time.
Yeah, comments on the penalty kill. Again, they're ranked 10th in the league. Nice one off the boards.
And one thing too, I mean, when you're up 4 goals, referees, no matter what, they're gonna be looking at everything, and the littlest things now can feel like they're gonna be calling on the Comets. So they gotta really keep their nose clean here.
Yep.
I mean, that one to me, I think that was a judgment call on the official for that hook. I think he could have not called that, but he did. So the Comets now have to be really aware of how tight he's starting to call this game.
That one went off of Shasma's legs there. Utah again, trying to get something set up here.
I mean, Utah with an easy entry into the zone, kind of uncontested as the Fort Wayne's back wall just kind of backs off. We need to create a little bit more resistance of them being able to gain our zone.
Here's Batista, backhand onto the near side into the corner.
That's a nice.
Go for a change.
That's a nice chip, cross corner, slowing it down, kind of chisel away a few more of those seconds on their power play.
On the near side is Reichert.
See, that's a good step up there by Cody. That's gotta be careful. That can be a interference, but he didn't move. He didn't change his lane there. But giving that resistance at the blue line forced them to give the puck up, which now turns it into a puck race, and we're able to send it the length of the ice.
Good job by Shaw putting a little forecheck on there, too.
See, Cody doing a great
offside.
Job. Once again.
And it's offside. All the way down as Saul's trying to instruct.
Probably not. But,
probably not. You're right.
That is some of the best PKing we've seen so far on their up ices.
Yeah.
Cody planting his feet, saying, I'm not giving you this zone freely. I'm going to make it difficult, and standing up like that creates the offsides, forces them to give up pucks like the one before. And
like you're saying, though, 4-0 lead. A lot of times the game was tight 1-1. That would have been called offside. It might have been all the way down.
Yeah,
Who knows,
sometimes you never know.
Because that, you're on the power play and you're offside, that would be all the way down the other end.
That's a trip. There you go. Steven Rouillard, Johnny on the spot. And a little slash. Looks like Utah's getting a little frustrated here.
A trip.
It was a blatant trip, too. I mean, there was no doubt about it.
But Saul went over there by him and got slashed. No call there on that one.
Steven's not going to compound the issue there for Utah right now, but I think if things start to escalate, he's a referee that'll, and the way they're instructed in the ECHL is to take a differential. That means if things start getting some pushing and shoving, things like that, he's going to take one side is going to be shorthanded. Is basically what it comes down to. So he makes sure that the initial was called. We get 4-on-4 hockey here for 21 seconds, and the Komets go back on the power play, and it'd be nice to see them kind of grab back some momentum here and do something with their next power play.
Well, Saul should be able to control this. I don't like that, but that's Camras with it. Oh, no, you got to put it on the stick. Nice deflection there. Komets are getting the bounces this period, too.
You know, it's hard as a coach. Like, you want your good players to have the freedom to create and try to make plays on entries just like Camras was doing. But, you know, there's time and a place to make those plays. And when now we have 2 consecutive turnovers at the offensive blue line, that now results in opportunities coming back against us.
Wait a minute.
Telling him to get out of the way there. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't mess with the goaltender like that. And Travis Barron goes in there.
Well, you can tell Utah's doing whatever they can to try and get under the Komets' skin.
Oh, and that's what I would do. I'd go there,
Yeah.
try to run the goalie a little bit.
100%. You want to, Hafner made some huge saves here early in this period.
Yeah.
So what do you got to do? You got to try and give him some bumps, make him feel like footsteps are coming anytime that puck's coming his way. So Hafner's a mentally tough guy, and he's a competitor, and had a chance to talk with him, and he has the right demeanor for a goaltender, very even keel, but his compete level is definitely off the charts. So I don't think I think that can work against Utah, to be honest with you. If you're gonna try and get in his kitchen, you might be stoking a flame that you won't be able to put out.
Getting it into the zone like that. Shaw with it, going after it. Sidlowski keeps it in.
That's a good keep there. Now Fort Wayne can sell it down. That's a good look from the bumper.
Ooh, that went up in the netting. No, I guess not.
So talking with Ben Boudreau, who runs the power plays, sometimes he says the flanks, the guys on the outside, sometimes it's Zid, sometimes it's Shaw there. They tend to try and rush plays, rush passes sometimes to try and have this clock in their head that we got to get something to the net immediately, as opposed to working it and finding the right passing lanes. So when sometimes you're seeing Zid right there trying to force something into the middle, the sequence before that, Shaw gets the puck and he tries to zip it back through to Zid, but the lane had closed. So I think Fort Wayne needs to realize they have some time to have some patience when they have that puck on the half wall to work it around and open up some seams.
Nice job comeback there with Ciro. Put a little pressure. Oh!
That's a slew foot right there.
Yep.
That is a dangerous play. Obviously, it's a good thing Ciro got up and got moving, but that is one of the more dangerous plays when you kick a player's feet out from behind him.
Yes.
I've had players who've had that done to them, and it's caused some pretty significant damage.
Yeah, I've been guilty of that myself, unfortunately.
That's some old school hockey.
I
right
apologize. Too late now, but
those are that's a type of play that gets me
slow
unglued.
it down. Yeah, I understand. Komets up 4-0 with 11:19 remaining in period number 2. Brian Gratson here tonight with us. The old, I won't even say that. The coach. I won't say the old
yeah,
coach.
I'm not old. I'm still young and good looking.
Yes.
Or at least one of those is true.
We'd like to thank his wife for letting him off, but she's not even around town, so the heck with it.
She drove to see her family here on this snowy weekend. She got out before the snow, so I just hope it melts so she'll come back.
There you go.
All right.
In the corner, Shaw with it.
That's a good puck retrieval, and you'll see the Komets. Another big emphasis is being first on pucks and winning those 50-50 races. D got a little overzealous, got caught in on a pinch there, but that is a
nice
elbow
elbow
right
there.
To the face. Yeah, Utah's starting to become a little unglued here.
Yep.
Taking some shots at guys.
Hope Shaw's okay. He's checking either the chiclets or the schnozola.
See,
like
this
is okay.
This is where Utah's starting to get a little chippy. Their last 2 penalties are because they're trying to get under Fort Wayne's skin. Now, if we can make them pay on this one, it kind of puts them back in their place and maybe starts settling them down a bit. But we need to make sure we capitalize here, and I think it's going to start with finding a little bit of patience here, not forcing pucks through seams that aren't there, and then capitalizing like we did on our first power play goal there on the 5-on-3 from J.C. Campagna.
Well, Ekin almost gone to the box. He's a guy, he's not one of these guys that have been called up by the SPHL, and getting that opportunity to play in a little higher league.
Oh boy. Blind backhand pass, those are tough. But right now, I mean, Fort Wayne needs to get a little sense of urgency here. You know, when they have possession with the puck, coaches tell their guys, everybody go to a guy, so that they don't have the ability to play keep away like they did there for about 5-6 seconds.
Here's Lowney with it. Out to Batista.
Got to move it east to west there, buddy.
Right into the goaltender as we'll get a face-off. Not too bad at all. I mean, I'd rather have a face-off than lose direct possession of the puck.
Yeah, there's some options there that I'd like to see them explore. On the initial drop, Batista needs to get that puck. As soon as he got the puck, all the penalty killers shift to his side. So when he receives it, he needs to move that puck directly to his right, to his other flank, his other trailer, so that they have open space to skate. But then as he approaches that line, he has to realize we have guys posted up right at the blue line for lateral plays. So then in doing that, you've pushed the PK back. You don't have to dump the puck. You don't have to chip it. We're able to get ourselves set up on an easy lateral to the sideboards there.
Campagna with it, brings it in with Camras out to the point. Saul, can he keep it?
That's a bouncing puck. That's tough to handle.
You gotta put your hand down there as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
Try to drop it. Comets get it position again. Wah back to Binkley. Binkley far side. Lose possession of it. Comes all the way back down with 29 seconds to go in the penalty. Nice move there by goaltender Lucas Hafner.
That's what we talked about is a goalie can control the game with how he plays the puck around the net, how he controls his rebounds and his communication.
Ciro using his size out there, 72. I haven't seen him use his size like that before.
It feels like a little bit of a wasted
opportunity. Glad Wah's back there. Oh, Wah did
Wow.
not play it well.
That's a good save.
But Hafner sure did. And we got a penalty.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. Wah's fast enough. He could have kept up with that guy.
I don't
disagree.
disagree.
Else, get in front of him.
He got out-muscled for one,
yeah.
But he just needs to keep his feet moving. But you have to keep in mind, he's probably been out there for the last minute here on the power play. The gas tank's a little low, but that's where other guys on the ice have to have the awareness of where they're at in their shift. So, I mean, if you're at the extended point of your shift, you can't be making soft plays high in the zone. You got to make sure pucks are going below the circles, especially at the waning moments of a power play. Oh.
Had to carry him off the back door there.
I was going to say, there's an ACL. But, you know, not to get to being a negative Nelly here, but that seemed like a wasted opportunity there for the Comets. Didn't take advantage of that power play to really put Utah away. Now, subsequently, we give up a couple of good shorthanded chances to them, now resulting into us having to go on the penalty kill. So Comets have to regain that composure and find that momentum again here by utilizing their strong penalty kill like they've had all night.
I was just looking up Zahn's background, Brian, played in Saskatoon. Tegan Zahn, is that it? Yeah. Old Westerner.
Yep, another former member of the Colorado Eagles from last year, won a championship, and you know, he was definitely an integral part for them over the last couple of seasons, I believe.
Nice hard release, get it out of the zone there.
Again, there, you win a face-off, you have a chance to send it the length of the ice. It's going to kill 20 to 25 seconds of the power play.
Sescon in the box.
Stay up.
Was just dumped in there by Reichert. On the near side.
Anytime your goalie can get out, get his stick on the puck on those dumps on a penalty kill, gives you that opportunity to disrupt what they want to do.
Ooh. Here's Shasma.
There you go.
Oh, what a nice roll play! Talk to me about that one, Brian. Woo!
I mean, that's what we call a POP, pass off pad. You know, they're shorthanded. They know they can't take it deep into the zone, so they gain it. We have enough awareness to realize that, hey, we got a number right in the slot. We hammer this puck off of the pad. It's going to create, in essence, a pass right to Shaftsma there, and it worked perfectly. So shoot it off the far pad, create the rebound, finish the rebound. That's an excellent execution.
Beautiful shorthanded
nice
goal.
job.
Going to the net. I mean, stick on the ice, no doubt about that. That's the old pro there, the old captain.
It's a short-handed goal, his 8th of the season, scored by number 22, J.E.
Gibson getting a point. That's good for him.
Gibson had the heads-up play of shooting it for the far pad. He wasn't trying to put it to the back of the net. He was trying to put it off the goalie's far pad to create the rebound for Shaftsma, who's in the slot area. So that's a tremendous heads-up play, and great job by Shaftsma. First off, to be the one to get the puck into the zone, create the turnover, and get it back over to Gibson there.
I'm so happy to see the comments when you're trying to kill a penalty, not just to dump it in and get rid of it.
No, you want
handle a little bit. I mean, you got possession of the puck. Why give up possession of the puck?
And I think every coach is fine if we want to maintain the puck and we can do something with it because it gives us the opportunity. Especially a lot of teams on the power play. The power play, they get frustrated when that puck leaves the zone, so they're frustrated coming back. You can create some opportunities. The biggest thing, though, you don't want your PKers to fall down or get lost behind the net. So the good thing was a lot of that happened higher up in the zone, and they made the most of it, so that was a great job.
Yeah, good job by Shasma getting it into the offensive zone like he did, and nice job by Gibson. Whew, like you said, that was nice bank shot. That's basically what it was. Time's up on the.
Nice job by Hafner. 2 seconds left. It'll be if Fort Wayne can win this faceoff, it might be able to create a little interesting scenario. The guy coming out of the box here. So
Binkley talking a little bit over there with Ryan Walters. Face off to left of Lucas Hafner. Hafner played again last night in Indianapolis, did a great job.
So I think one thing you might see here, you got Kukali kind of set back behind the centerman. If we win this draw back, you're going to see he's going to hammer it toward the penalty box, which he did. So it wasn't as hard as it needed to be.
Nope.
But that was exactly what they were wanting to do with 2 seconds left. That is a high. Did he get speared there?
Oh, let's see what the call is.
Yeah.
And Sadlowski, I'll tell you, he's one that loves to go. He loves to make a point.
Oh, I think Utah, if they're not careful, they're going to get an extra one here.
And Sescon too, Brian. He likes to go too.
Oh, I remember coaching against him. He was a tough customer, even back in the Central League days.
Kukali, you might be right. Kukali's still wincing with pain down there.
Yeah, they said he took. They called a slash initial. Obviously, all the Utah players converged in there. Doesn't look like there's going to be anything extra with it.
That's good. I tell you, I love watching Sean Sadlowski play, Brian.
He's a throwback.
He's got so much talent, and like you say, he's a throwback. He's one of those guys that can score a goal and still get in a fight the same shift.
You know, that's something. You know, in today's game, finding guys that can both play the game and provide that and
physical
thrive with that physical element is very rare. So, he is that typical, like that type of throwback that you have on your team. I mean, a lot of teams, they're top-end guys. They're guys who score a point a game. they aren't the ones who are going to go in there and stick up for a teammate all the time. Not saying that that's not part of their character, but when you see your team MVP, league MVP from last year, willing to go in there and drop the mitts to stick up for a teammate, that's something that everybody on the bench says, hey, like, we're all in as a group.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Camras lost that one up, and back out. Picking it off there was Barron. He loses it. Throw it all the way down. Hafner, smart play. Nice. Sid handles the puck sometimes just maybe one more movement.
He was also kind of put in a tough spot there by Cody. I mean, Cody probably should have slowed some things down there to let that play develop.
Oh, boy, that was going to go in. And he kept it in the slot. Oh, my gosh. How did he keep it in on the blue line like that?
That was a nice play there. Good skill play.
Here's
now we got possession. One thing we're seeing, Utah is getting more aggressive on the penalty kill. With their forwards are actively coming out attacking and pushing down. What that does is now starts creating open lanes as you see them attacking. Oh my goodness.
Batista gonna go to the box for a trip.
So one thing I can honestly, I mean I've seen Steven Rouillard before. He is a good official.
Oh, okay.
He definitely sees that the temperature's rising. Okay, and he sees that Utah's getting chippy. This is his way of trying to regain control and to put some things down. I mean, by the book, that's a trip. That's a bit of an embellishment as well. But you see, he's quicker to call some things right now.
Yeah, he saw that last altercation, and both teams get a little extra physical there. He's just trying to be the policeman down there, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes, they, like I said, they'll look to take some differentials and things like that. But here we go,
Campagna
JC.
with nice. He tried to just nice little easy one.
The little back cross grain floater. Those are tougher for goalies than you might imagine, because you have all your momentum going across the net.
Nice job by Campagna.
That is a great play by JC.
Oh,
a kid could stick handle out of a phone booth.
Oh, I think we missed one on Wah there that got pulled down.
We started.
Yep.
So initially there on that entry, when their guy initially came in and pulled up, all three Fort Wayne players backed off. And when you back off, you create space for him to find that second wave coming in. We had the opportunity on the initial. Now, granted, I believe their penalty had just expired. Maybe we're trying to get into penalty kill mode. But as soon as number 13 there pulled up, the defenseman, I believe it was Gibson, backed away and allowed him to find that trailer coming in. And that's, I mean, you give someone a free shot there from the high slot, they're going to have a high chance of scoring.
Now Riker gets credit for that goal.
A little bit of extra getting thrown around there on Camras, so
going to hang on to that.
Unfortunately, I mean, we have the 4-goal lead. It's nice, it's comfortable, but them scoring here late in the period. As a coach, when you're down like this, you start breaking. Tim Branham's breaking things down in segments. All right, guys, we need to win the last 5 minutes of this period. And, they did just that. They got the first one. Okay, so what can they do with the last 4 minutes? And the Comets have to be very wary of the momentum of this game here in this final 4 minutes, to make sure that they keep Utah right where they're at.
Well, Brampton was up 4-0, I think, against the Comets on New Year's Eve, and Comets came back and made it somewhat respectable, but didn't really do anything until the third period.
And that was, and then they had that 5-on-3 there at the end of regulation. That is
Sadlowski getting bumped there.
They're really trying they're trying to get under his skin here right now.
Behind the play, Otto. Sean Sadlowski.
see,
Anderson had enough, and he went right to the locker room.
so Anderson took a liberty there on Zidlowski, gave him a hit when the puck wasn't even there.
Yep.
And obviously Zid took exception to that. Unfortunately, that plays into what Utah wants. Utah's going to take that exchange.
Yep.
100% of the time. They lose Anderson for 5, but we lose the league MVP for 5 minutes, and that's one thing that, you know, we don't want to fall into what Utah's trying to get here. So, I mean, you give Zid a lot of credit. He's not going to take that and, you know, hopefully spark the team a little bit.
Look at Shaw and Barron over there talking a little bit. I don't know if they are talking about last season or what, but they're talking a little bit too. And these guys have played against each other over the years. Maybe have been college, might have been juniors.
Yeah,
you know, and or other teams in the league. And
well, the degrees of separation in hockey are slim. I mean, you know, if you don't know a guy directly, you know somebody who's played with him, and it's so. And now in today's day and age with social media, everybody knows everything about everybody else. So
Sescon getting hit again, and find a little bit of.
That's a nice block there in the slot.
Yeah. Sescon hang. Oh, and they got another one. Sescon's a little upset from the original hit over there on the far side. Utah back in the game, Brian.
Yeah, that's unfortunate here. Like I said, Utah's gonna take that exchange, Anderson for Zidlowski, but at the same time, I mean, you know, when you're down this much, you're looking for anything to spark your team, and that's sometimes is a fight. And you know, you kind of gave Utah exactly what they wanted there, and you know, it's not against Zid by any means. It's just that's a tough bounce goal there.
Sure.
I mean, they go to center, it hits our defenseman, pops up and in, but you know, you can't give them an ounce to breathe, and you can't start falling into the game that they want to play.
Well, we were up 4-0 at the start of this period. Now it's 5-2. So they're making it back into the.
Utah's been one of the better teams in the Western Conference and in their division as well. So I mean, there's not going to be any quit for them. And now they're buzzing. They're getting pucks deep. They're battling for pucks. So Fort Wayne's got to find a way to slow their game down, win some battles, and get pucks back below their circles and go to work.
Out to the point, just chipping it in. Batista behind the net, and he picks it up. Just chip it out of there. There you go.
There you go.
Well, that's a little interference, but maybe not.
Those are always
1,
those
2,
borderline
3, 4,
ones.
5. Hafner got to slow it down a little bit, and got both Utah players right there. 1:45 remaining in period number 2. Comets with a 3-goal lead. Utah making a comeback.
Fort Wayne's got to tip the scales back here in the last minute 45. I mean, we haven't had a lot of sustained offensive zone pressure here in a while, so it's time to need to win this draw, get up and get pucks deep, and whether that's chipping it in, getting on the forecheck, or we use our feet to drive the puck deep into their zone, we need to establish something there. Ciro comes out, no fear, drops right in front.
Again, Hafner going to slow it down again. Face off to the left or right? Well, left side, I guess. They're going to be on this side, near side. And getting thrown out is Marchment. Comets get the face off and then near side.
I've never been a huge fan of the strong side play. I mean, if you're going to do that, Cody Soul needs to get the puck up on the glass, because if you don't get it on the glass, it's easy for a defenseman to seal the wall and keep that puck in the zone. So either got to elevate or look to change sides on a face-off win.
Going right at the net. Here's Camras with it.
There you go.
Ciro trying to get off the boards. Comes back in to Hafner.
Utah back in with 2 forecheckers. F3 coming in. They're coming. They've changed up from a 1-2-2 and they're playing a 2-1-2 forecheck right now, getting aggressive. So that means the Fort Wayne defensemen are going to have to be ready to take a hit to make a play to get the puck out of the zone, and we can't afford to be having costly pucks get thrown through the middle or up the walls.
Well, it's under a minute to go. Utah being charged with an icing. But we come right back down to the Utah end and see if we can't pick something up here. As Marchment's
he was
told
looking
to get
for,
back on the ice.
He was looking for an extra of deep breath there. Utah trying to slide one out. This is what frustrates me as a coach. They talk about in this league when you're not allowed to have delayed tactics after an icing, and every team does it, but at some point you're looking at late in a period here, offensive zone faceoff for one side. The referee has to say, like, establish something, call the penalty, make sure their centerman can't take the draw, and just make sure they're paying some sort of a price for those delayed tactics.
On the far side, picking it up, 26 seconds to go. Lowney back to pick it up. Bring it on up. Got time to get one more attack in here. Lowney gets it back.
That's a
here's
good play.
DeLao. Goes for the high side. Here's Campagna.
That was a member's bounce there for Lowney on the dump using the end wall, but this is JT Hankey coming in there.
Wow. And it's going to be a penalty.
Pretty sure that's the fastest I've seen JT
That's a
move.
hook.
So.
That's a 20-minute mark hooking, it's a 20-minute mark hooking. Crazy period, Brian.
A lot of back and forth. I mean, Fort Wayne with only 5 shots that period compared to, I think it was 17 shots for Utah. Granted, Fort Wayne spent quite a bit of time there on the penalty kill, but Utah's desperate to get back into this game, and you kind of boil it down. Utah wins that period 2-1. Fort Wayne has to make sure they screw the head on straight and realize what they need to do, get back to what made them successful there in the first.
Well, it's 5-2 Comets. They'll be on the power play as far as Utah will be on the power play. We'll be back with period number 3.
Comet fans, you want to listen a little bit more beyond Comet Game of the Week on Wednesday nights on Access Fort Wayne? We have a new show on WELT produced by the Comets called CometCast.
I am your host, Shane Albarani. You know me from doing the play-by-play on WoWo throughout the season, but now I'm adding podcast hosts to the old resume. Keep an eye out on social media, Twitter and Facebooks for who our next guest is going to be.
Join Shane Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. for CometCast on WELT.
Well, we're back with period number 3, talking to Dave Franke in the hallway. We kind of stunk the bit on that last period, but let's hope the boys rejuvenate themselves, come out with a little better period at number 3, and maybe take over where they left off the end of the first period.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fort Wayne kind of fell into the game that Utah was trying to play. Utah was down 4-rip after 1. They started getting a little chippy and we're really pouring it on, and Fort Wayne took a few penalties that, questionable or not, they end up playing in their own zone for too much of that second period.
Well, Utah on the power play now. Hafner does. Oh, they kept it in. Oh, I like that effort there by Asmus. Oh, nice boom from Cody Saul, that's for sure. Got it all the way back down the other end.
Well, the penalty kill's been a strong suit for Fort Wayne here tonight. I know Utah does have a power play goal, but that was right as one of their penalties expired on a 4-on-4 there. But nevertheless, Fort Wayne needs to take this penalty kill, use it to their strength, build that momentum so that when we get back to 5-on-5, we can start playing in their end for the rest of the game here, because we spent way too much time. Hafner had to a little too much work.
Nice poke check there as we got it outside for a moment. Offside, Utah. Talking to David and his neighbors, the Gabbets, out there in the hallway, talking a little bit about the Carlson brothers, the Hanson brothers coming in next weekend, and should be rather entertaining for the Comet fans. Have not seen the movie Slapshot. If you haven't, you need to get it.
So throughout my minor league travels, I was quite a few different locations, and every single place seemed to eventually have the Hanson brothers come. And I actually ended up having to. I actually was not starting a game, so the Hanson brothers were coming out to do their little bit, and I was the goalie that they clotheslined right before they scored once when we were in Johnstown.
You played in Johnstown?
Yeah, that was
wow.
First place I went right after my college. See, here we got a 2-on-1 developing here, shorthanded. Nice backhand.
Oh!
It was elevated a little bit too much. But,
and if nothing else, we get a face-off because they took the net off the moorings. So, yeah, that'd be a pretty cool thing to say. Played in Johnstown. That would be cool.
You know, my college season ended with Penn State, and Johnstown was only an hour and a half away, and two of my teammates from Penn State signed with them and went and started to play. And about a week after our season ended, I got a call to come in and back up for them for the final month and a half of the season.
Gosh!
It was kind of what
the
started.
Same rink the movie was made in.
Same rink, same locker room, the whole nine, and you could still see that white poured cement brick in their locker room. They've done some updates, but it was pretty cool. So I got to meet the Hansons, and fast forward, I think it was a year or two later, I was back playing in Johnstown, and we had a terrible team, and the Hanson brothers came in, and one of their famous lines, "Yeah, we got a lot of losses," and they dropped that one in front of our coach, and everybody just started breaking up laughing, and we had one of our few rare victories that night.
That's cool. That's cool. If you fans have not seen that movie, you need to go get it, and you watch the movie, and then the new ones anyway will stop, and then the Hanson brothers are there narrating the movie over again, and that's pretty cool. Of course, there's a little X-rated few things in there, but it is funny. It is really funny.
Yeah, the Slapshot is a rite of passage for hockey players as they grow up. Slapshot and Youngblood are the two ones, but
oh yes.
Fort Wayne, as we come back in the zone, we got to make sure we have awareness. Nice block there.
Oh boy!
And now we get up and go.
3-on-2 if we can get something going.
Soul
maybe a
join
4.
in the play, making it a 4-on-2.
Yeah, Shasta just couldn't get it completed on that one. As Soul does a little poke check there.
Shaftsman does a really nice job coming back and filling for Cody Soul there on the blue line, so that we weren't in a position to give up any odd man rushes coming back.
Camrats just had to move in an angle there. He couldn't bring it with him. Ah! And that one goes out of the arena. Hopefully everybody's all right. And they wave that they're okay. That's up in your parents' area, isn't it?
Yep. Unfortunately, my parents are on a Caribbean cruise right now.
Little rascals.
I mean, I don't count them as meteorologists, but they sure had the foresight to get out of town before the snow came in.
Good point. Dumping it in the zone is Gibson.
Now here you go. You see Shaw, working hard, using his stick, winning some battles. Now we come away with the puck. We're below the circles. Now we get to work. Kukali does a nice job moving his feet, getting off the wall there, so I like how active he is.
Gibson gets it blocked there.
This is probably one of our better sustained pressures that we've had since the first period.
Oh, I thought that was up in the Comet bench. Apparently not. Kukali played that well. He didn't turn his back on him. Nice block.
It's a nice save. That's a shot through a screen there on a sharp angle, so he fought that one off. Good call. He needs to keep his stick on the ice in close space. There we go.
Nice.
Now we have it. Now we're moving.
Here's
2
Gibson.
on 2.
Just dumps it. He's tired. He's off. Campagna putting a little pressure on him. Here we go again, picking it off. Get a little bit deeper, boys. A little deeper. Here's Lowney trying to hit far side, gets picked off. And that was going to go outside. They dump it in anyway, and clear the pond. Here's Lowney again.
Take our time a little bit. Utah's definitely going to press the play here, not let Fort Wayne get their control breakout, but get some entry here with possession. Ciro just bumping it to the back of the net. Now we go to work. Let's play heavy below the circles, which allows us to really lean on them, start wearing them down. And
Sescon doing a good job there. Here's Ciro.
Ciro using that big frame to maintain. That's a good look. Cross ice look. You want to change sides just like that against a collapse.
Oh, nice move.
Ooh.
That's Shaston. The old man making that great move there.
Yeah, he got
between the legs.
Got a little speed burst and a little silky skill.
I don't mind that neither. Dumping in there. A nice high chip. Just out of the reach.
There you go, Hafner. Playing it up to Shaftsma there.
Binkley just clearing it out.
Yeah, that's a good play by Sol.
I like that too. Came back right in the middle.
Soldowski
staying on side.
He did a great job coming to the middle, and then we.
Oh boy! Couldn't bring it with him. Shaftsma. Here's Binkley. Keeping it active.
There you go. Here comes Campana. Campana's had a really nice game here.
Oh, right in the old bread basket.
Seems like every time JC's out there, he's making something happen. He's, whether it's with his feet or his hands, or he's going to spaces that are drawing some attention to open up room for other guys. I really liked his game here tonight. Obviously, the second period didn't have as much opportunity with us being on the PK so much, but it's nice to see him out there moving, and looks like Fort Wayne's going to kind of set up a little play here. Winger behind the center, if you can win it, you have the opportunity to kick it out to a D like that or take a quick shot.
Well, I say it quite often that Brett Hall, when he has the acceptance speech in the NHL Hall of Fame, he gave a lot of compliments to his fathers, telling him to be where the puck isn't.
Yep.
And this is where you see some of these guys, the new ones we've got like Shaw and Campagna and Wah are those type of players. They get into that position where they're always ready for a pass.
And one of the, it's what separates players from the Southern Pro to the ECHL to the A, and so on and so forth, is how you think the game, but not just how you do it, but how fast you can do it. And you got guys here on the Comets that are able to see a couple moves in advance, that if I pass it to my wing, I got to find this little hole, this little opening, and if I can get there, I can get this puck back. And, I think early in the season, the Comets struggled a little bit with getting guys on the same page to read some tendencies and how players like to play with so many new faces. But they've really settled in here over the last couple weeks, and obviously it's shown through here in 2019. But it's just a matter of keeping it going and making sure it's something that we do for a full 60 minutes.
Well, I've been really happy with the personnel we've got in here this year. It just we've not gelled well together. It seems like there's a lot of individuals at times, and then when they do gel, just like that first period, very fun to watch and very exciting.
Absolutely. I mean, Gary is an excellent coach, and he really focuses a lot on the details, and with that, you've seen the Comets here with having so many new faces, learning these systems, learning the Fort Wayne way and how we go about winning hockey games, and now you're really seeing that sort of buy-in and some of the changes that have been made in those mid-season acquisitions like a Cam Rass have really started to pay off.
McKay's doing a pretty good job of keeping it in the offensive zone, not controlling it well, but keeping it in there. And that's going to be an icing. They forced him enough to bring all the way back down to the other end with 12:27 to go in period 3. Komets 5, the Utah Grizzlies 2. As you hear the trumpet, and there's going to be the police officer somewhere being a little pressure on him. And he's he got a light on him tonight. I don't know where he is, somewhere in the
231.
231. Well, face off to the left. The goaltender Canada. As the fans give him a big round of applause. Why not? Have a little fun. Right up the middle. It's offside. Sadowski slows it down a little bit.
And this is a smart play. Let's collect ourselves. Let's come up the ice as a group. You know, Utah's back 4 guys were kind of sitting back, kind of setting the trap.
Oh, there's an interference. No call.
Oh, nice deflection there. About a play. Faceoff will be in the zone here, but I like Zid's move there. Like he doubles back because A, it was kind of a broken situation. The puck had come back, and then to allow all the Fort Wayne players to come back and then move with speed going north together allows you to attack through because Utah had 4 guys posted up between the red line and their blue line, just waiting to angle and force a turnover there. So it was a good move by Zid, and we were able to get puck into the zone there.
Nice job on far side. Coming around the near side, and nice keeping it in the zone. Shaw zipping over there. Hits the puck. It goes outside the arena.
Fort Wayne D have done a nice job holding those pucks in the zone, like you said. They've been wary of the attack of Utah. They've made the good decisions of when to stay up and hold the line and when to back off, so as not to give up, too many 2-on-1s. That second period aside, we gave up a few too many odd mans, but I think it looks like we're kind of getting back to that situational awareness and understanding the time, understanding the manpower on the ice.
Nice job. And where's do you think he's going to go? Ryan Walters.
Hafner does a nice job just sucking that in there. One thing, coming from, from his first start to even to now, you can tell that he's building some confidence. Obviously with, Fucali starting most of the games there to begin the year, then he gets called up, he comes back, he goes overseas for the international competition, and then, back again, called up again. So, Hafner's had to stand tall, and watching this game, he's done a pretty nice job controlling the game, the pace, and his rebounds. So it's definitely encouraging. I don't know if it has something to do with those shiny new pads he's got, but
yeah, you never know.
But like I always said, look good, feel good, play good, and he's got a nice set of new gear to help him do that.
How difficult is it, Brian, for a goaltender to redirect those shots? Like sometimes they talk about bad rebounds and stuff that.
So it's there's going to be shots that when they're closer in, hash marks and in, you don't have as much opportunity to direct the rebound because there's their blocking saves. But those shots from above the dots or the top of the circle, those are pucks that if you're an elite level goaltender, you should be able to direct the puck where it's going. These guys are good enough to be able to, get their stick on the puck. And when you're butterflying, you're angling your body to help direct things either up in the netting or over to the sidewall. So,
we'll see a lot of goaltenders, the young ones usually, that come in that'll let that rebound come straight back out where you want to try to redirect it to a corner or the opposite side, actually. Right?
So, yeah, absolutely. Like, the biggest thing that we tell goalies is that, you're either putting it to the boards or you're sucking it in, or you put it up in the netting. Back in the day, they used to tell goaltenders, kick it straight out twice as fast as it came in, right? So that's not necessarily as a part of the game as it used to be, but you know, if you have a goalie who
that was more stand-up goaltenders back then too, where now it's a lot more butterfly.
Yep, the stand-up goalies, you'd see a lot more kick saves and things like that, just kind of punting the puck back out. Whereas now with the butterfly style, I mean, it covers the lower half of the net. And you know, even when I'm working with the young goalies here in Fort Wayne, you know, we try and tell them, you know, utilize the butterfly, trust in your butterfly, but rotate your upper body to use your stick to help direct pucks, because not only does turning your upper body help direct pucks, but it angles your pads appropriately to deflect pucks to the corners.
Soul doing a good job there on the boards.
What's more impressive is Zidlowski.
Oh, boy.
Zidlowski did a nice job coming back to cover as Soul was up. And Zid was playing him as he cut across the zone, but you know, I think it was Binkley whose responsibility was through the middle of the ice there, and he's got to be ready to take a stick as that guy drives to the net.
Yeah, that was Ryan Walters, I believe, getting that goal. No chance in the goaltender on that one either.
As you see, oh boy, there Walters sneaks in from the weak side.
Yeah.
Binkley turned to front the puck as it went around on Zid's side, and he didn't see him coming in from the backside. And our F3, who was coming back to help, let Walters kind of be a snake in the grass and cut in from the wide post to the front of the net for that redirect.
Well, Fansy's calling him a snake in the grass, but it was a hell of a play by him, wasn't it?
Hey, he's not on my team, so he's a snake in the grass. But I mean, it was a nice shot pass redirect, and you know, that's those are some plays that are very difficult for goaltenders, because when it's coming from an angle like that, you have to read it as it is a shot. And when you do that, you know, if it's
here we go, Campagna, he's got the speed.
Got the wheels. Pulling up. Oh, we got extra bodies.
Oh. Yeah, give him some room there.
But like I was saying, for a goalie, those shot pass redirects, it's so difficult, because you're reacting to the shot, and even though it may be a little bit off center, when they put the stick in there to redirect it, it is a very tough read for a goaltender, especially that close in.
That face off the left of Canada. Batista in there for the face off. He was. Camras going in now.
You know, a lot of times centermen are trying to time these linesmen as they go to drop, and any sort of hesitation from them really pulls the centerman off of his timing, and that's what you got there with that face-off, and why our centerman got chucked.
Little holding.
Yeah, that should probably be called there. Let me radio down to old Steven Rudyard.
Here's Camras, dumps it in again.
Again, they are absolutely hounding our player there. I don't understand why that was let go.
Yeah, I don't either. Here we go, 2-on-1.
Dish it. You got to hand it to their defenseman there for selling out to block that pass, but Camras going to have to be okay. I don't understand. Steven Rudyard for almost 50 minutes of this game called it tight, every little thing, but now things are being let go, and this is where you'll start to see frustrations boil over from teams and from coaches, because you established a standard, and now you're changing that, because in his mind, he doesn't want to affect the outcome of the game by calling penalties, but in not calling a penalty, he's affecting how the game will result.
We always talk about if it's a penalty in the first period,
that's
it needs
a
to be
great
penalty
stick
in the
by
third period.
Binkley. Oh, 100%. And a lot of young referees, you know, they're afraid to call a borderline penalty, even though they established it early on.
Tough on the boards, got control of it. Nice see, Binkley.
Nobody's in front of the net to create traffic. So there's a good shot from Soul.
Soul, boy, didn't when he wait any at all for that one. Oh, nice reflex there.
You know, that was a good possession in the offensive zone, but the problem is we weren't getting anybody to the net front. You know, both of our defensemen were able to wind up and really lean into a shot, but no traffic in front of Canada, which is what resulted in it resulted in Camras's goal in the first period. He goes to the net front, gets a redirect, and now we're nowhere to be found in the hard areas of the ice.
Yeah, it's a TV timeout, and Shasta might be going there and talking about the same thing we've been talking about. Hey, you were calling that in the first and second period. Why aren't you calling it now?
And, you know, it's tough, too. Like, I mean, it's not like Steven Rouillard, this is the first year for him. I mean, he was definitely in the league last year, and I just I don't understand the change. And then me as a coach, I absolutely hate when the other team has their captain over there talking to the official and mine's not there. So you never want to give them the opportunity to lobby for something extra.
Well, Doug and I talk about that too. As you being a coach, when the referee's going back and forth talking to you guys, and we're always saying, come on, get control of the game. Don't you either get control of the game by not going and talking to you guys, right? I mean, I know you want him to because you might be able to get him off the game.
It is a very fine line that these officials have to walk in terms of communication. It's from a league perspective. They definitely want there to be quality communication, but they also don't want it to affect the flow of the game. And oh my goodness, that he gets tangled up there. Shaw gets tangled up a little bit. A nice track back by Waugh, keeping the stick on the ice to break up that pass. But yeah, exactly. When the referee's going bench to bench, or he always is talking to the other team's lawyer, their captain, talking. I mean, it affects the flow of the game. And you know, the more you talk to someone, the more you complain or whatever, it's going to affect I mean, referees are people too. At least that's what their bumper stickers say. And it's going to affect how they view things. So that's why I generally just tell the refs, like, let's get going here. I mean, unless I can change your mind, I don't want to, or unless I really need to tell you something. It's usually when my face was bright red. So
face off the left of Hafner. Comets up 5-3 with 7:54 to go. Batista trying to get it out of there.
Batista did a nice job competing and battling there.
Hafner brings it down, and Lowney comes back and takes care of Austin Carroll. Yeah, you get a lot out of Lowney for no bigger than he is. I mean, it does proves the point. You don't have to be 6'4", 220 to be an effective hockey player. Learn how to handle your skates and got your balance. You can slow a guy down with your skating ability.
And you've seen the development of Lowney here over his career here over the last, I think, 3 seasons, and he's learned to play the man's game is what I call it, and that is, you know, I mean, when he's got a 6'4" guy who's 30 years old leaning on you, I mean, that's tough for a kid coming out of college who's an undersized defenseman, but he's learned how to use his leverage and his size to his advantage and his positioning. So it's been very encouraging seeing how he handles things on the back end. And I still think he has the ability to continue to grow his offensive game. So he shows some good signs. And I think it's just when he gets that confidence that, hey, I got the wheels, and when I see that opening to jump into the play, I need to do it.
You can see Cody Saul right there. He's really closing up on the line there. And kind of wonder if he might be getting the goaltender's way, but that's the way they got it set up. Looks like another icing. Comets have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. Nothing was really set up there, but we'll get a chance to regroup here.
We've been fairly strong in the face-off circle here tonight. So, again, one of the things that as you get late into the games, and you made mention where Cody Soul's at, sometimes a little bit of that has to do with communication from the center where he's trying to win this puck. you know, there's chances are this may be a strong side D wheel, which is actually what it was going to be. That's a great reaction by Hafner.
Absolutely. What a great save. Jeez, just chop it out of him. There you go. Nice move by.
That's a nice pass by Zid. There you go. Oh, shoot it right away.
Oh, Shaftsma right up into the net.
You know, it's tough there. Shaftsma comes in as a lefty. It's coming across his body, so he can't just one-time it. He's not in position. But one thing that's worked on quite a bit is called two-touch shooting, which is, and sometimes that's a little slower, but it's just a quick stop to set the puck and shoot it right away. Where Shaftsma right there, it looked like he was just trying to settle it to get as much on it as he can, but it gave Kanata the chance to come over, and then when he looked up, he didn't have as much room to shoot at when he first got the puck.
Waugh getting thrown out. Commons get possession.
Once again, Waugh, I believe that's about a half a dozen times he's been thrown out of the face-off circle tonight. So I wonder if he's made friends with these linesmen from previous games, and
that might be. Nice job there by Campagna, but dumped it in the zone.
Nice
Commons
job.
Get possession.
He just got punched right in the face. And now Waugh's got to be careful.
Jeez.
But right there again, you know, that's a penalty in the first two periods.
And the play is right there, so you got to see it.
Yeah, I mean, the first one was a penalty against Utah for the punch to Waugh's face, and then Waugh turns around and lays the cross check. The referee's just letting it go. So, you know, now the players on both teams have to adjust to the refs letting them play it out.
Well, with 5:56 to go in the period. And it's cleared, but brought back in. Petroselli put a little pressure on there with Camras on the far side. As Utah brings it back in deep.
Utah getting into their set piece. They got a guy stretching to the far blue line to pull Fort Wayne's defenseman back. Fort Wayne's got to be careful with them building that speed. They're doing a little bump back play, which they pass it to the guy who's long, and then he passes it back to the wingers who swung low, who are now coming with speed. So Fort Wayne needs to be aware of that set piece, that control breakout, if it rises another time.
There's Lowney in the corner, trying to get himself
that's a
set up.
Tough situation for Lowney.
Go.
He's going in on a 50-50 battle, and it's off a face-off, so his D-man's on the far side of the play, taking his man to the net, so he didn't have the help to come back him up. But Utah's starting to hang guys behind our defensemen. So there needs to be some talk from Hafner on the back end. There needs to be some awareness from the D and our high forward in the zone that Utah's going to start springing a guy early or trying to get behind our defensemen.
Well, Utah's not a team that's used to being in this position, I wouldn't imagine.
No, I mean, they've been pretty high scoring throughout the whole year and had a lot of success early on, and have obviously sustained it here on their Eastern trip. So these last 5 minutes are going to be a dogfight. It's a 2-goal game, and you know, the momentum I think is sitting on a razor's edge, so it can tip either way.
Oh, that was kind of tough one on there for Cody. Should be no icing. Brought in Sean Sadlowski, putting the pressure on.
There you go.
Ooh, we couldn't get it. Shasma just getting it outside the zone. Utah comes back to regroup. 4:41 to go in the period.
Looks like Fort Wayne made a little bit of adjustment on their neutral zone forecheck for our second forward to really track their center as he swings away from the puck to really eliminate that transition game for Utah.
Campagna got a man with him. Oh! Campagna used a man for as a kind of a decoy there.
Campagna has, I mean, he's been great this game in my opinion offensively. Really creating some opportunities. He's had some excellent takeaways. So I mean, I'd be getting him back out on the ice. here quickly if possible.
Good hit there by
See,
Brady Shaw.
Utah's breaking it out below their goal line with pressure, and they have 2 forwards beyond the red line right now.
Look at Waugh, nice hit.
They're playing 3-on-3 hockey in the Utah zone because Utah has 2 forwards out in the neutral zone.
Behind the net.
There you go.
Petroselli, goal
Nice
last
shot.
night.
There it is. Petroselli trying to take advantage of a little 3-on-3 in the offensive zone.
Utah lost, Canada lost his helmet, so that's an immediate whistle being blown.
That's not a bad thing. Utah was getting ready to head up the ice, and they had
looks like they're going to call it right outside the blue line, though.
Yep. I think Fort Wayne, the defenseman and the coaches have done a good job letting the defensemen know that Utah's really trying to spring 2 forwards behind. And they're just posted up beyond the red line. And what that does is that it definitely makes the Fort Wayne defense uneasy. No defenseman likes having anybody behind them. And it creates 3-on-3 hockey in the offensive zone for the Komets, which, last night they were able to capitalize in 10 seconds to win it in overtime against Indy. So Utah better be careful. Fort Wayne does enjoy some 3-on-3 hockey, but right now Canada standing at the top of the circles in his zone, waiting for Utah to gain possession, which they don't. So he'll retreat back into the net.
Batista.
And now here comes Canada for Utah to get the 6-on-5 here, the extra attacker. Oh. Sticks on the ice here, boys. Take away those lanes.
2:50 to go.
Nice job. Oh, now get it out. That's 3 chances to clear the zone. There we go.
There we go.
4th time's a charm.
That's going to be an icing. Comes all the way back down to the Comet zone.
I would be shocked if Tim Branham here of Utah takes a timeout, but you will
be shocked, or you won't be shocked?
I would be, because with 2:40 left, I'd rather let my 6-man unit get us that goal, and then if we're not going to get, looks like he's going to play it here. So
goaltender still pulled. Six men. Utah
they're
Grizzlies
trying to get a 7th out there, but I guess they decided not against it. But yeah, so Utah's trying to save that timeout. If they can get one here, they can use it with a minute left to get their guns back out there.
Some more pressure on it.
There we go. That's a good hard up. Now here's the opportunity. Find it, Pets. Yep.
Yeah, Petroselli. 2 goals, 2 nights.
There you go. Started with a good play from Cody Soul, making a hard play to get it out of the end. And then we cap it off here to take that 3-goal lead with 2.5 remaining. So you got to know Utah's not going to give up. I wouldn't be surprised if they even considered pulling the goalie again with possession in the Komets' end. So.
Oh yeah, I would. You got 2:28. That's still
plenty of time.
Still time.
I've pulled my goalie with 9 minutes left in a game before, so it's worth it if you get a team that's going to battle. So
here's Kukali with it, dumps it in. Shasma going in after it. Komets want to put the pressure on him. Shasma following all the way around behind the net. On the near side, here's Walker trying to make some fancy moves. Kukali doing a good job. Shasma just jumping out of the zone there. Going to be an icing. Komets be all the way back down into the Comet zone with 1:57 remaining in the period. Well, under 2 minutes, Brian, to be kind of tough. It's happened before, though. I've seen him do it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're gonna keep pressing the issue, but I don't know. For me, on the road, it's tough when it's in January. They're on a road trip, things like that. But if Utah had some more momentum here, carrying into the final 2 minutes, even if they were 3 goals down, I think maybe you roll the dice to get after it, but. Doesn't look like that's the direction.
Sadowski doing a good job just getting it out of the zone, not trying to ice it.
Yeah, this is just having some situational awareness. Fort Wayne's going to make sure we're having some clean changes here.
Oh, here we go. Campagna, can he do something?
That's a hook. Should be a penalty. That's a goal. He's
And it's
in.
It's in.
He's inside the net.
And they're not going to. Oh boy.
Wow.
I'm sorry if it's underneath your pads and you go into the net, it's a goal.
Well, I 100% agree, and I think the hardest part about this is it's under Canada. The referee, the linesmen were behind the play, so they were not in a position to actually see from below the goal line. But he is drifting. That linesman should have come into the net to see it, but it's hard to see which pad it's under.
Here. Yeah, it's under. I thought it was under his left pad.
I think he's trying to make it seem like it's under the front one, but
well, any event, should have just put it right past him.
Simple game. Just shoot it past him. Smart man once told me for goalies it's an easy game. You just got to stop a puck.
Oh, nice. Campagna, good. They're not quitting. I like to see that. 1:15 to go.
There you go, pass goal.
Oh, he blew that one. Oh, my gosh.
JC should have just ripped it.
Oh. Here's Lowney with it.
Yeah, Mr. Rouliard better be careful here with some of the extras that are happening. Minute left, 3-goal game. Nobody needs anything extra here.
Yep.
Non-division opponents.
Yeah.
I will hand it to Utah here. The fact that they were down 4-0 in the first period, they were flat. Left their goalie out to dry. To kind of see that compete level, that battle that they showed in the second period, really taking it to Fort Wayne, and then really playing a solid first half of the third period. You've got to be impressed with what they were bringing to the table.
Oh yeah, I was starting to wonder myself. That's for sure. Come on, boys.
Nice tracking coming back. You notice you have four Fort Wayne players. That's
unexcusable right there, guys.
That's called so the Fort Wayne players hustled back. We had 4 guys come back. The problem is over tracking, which means if you go too far back, we ended up with 4 guys below the bottom of the circles, nobody stopping to the front of the net to turn around to see who's coming in late. 1, 2, 3, 4, all at the goal line or below. Someone has to stop at the net front, turn around, and see where the other threats are coming into the zone.
That was by the Southern Pro boy, Economus.
Well,
6-4, but
35 seconds
couple
left here.
Couple goals you shouldn't have let in. I can't blame Hafner for any of those, or a couple of those anyway. I shouldn't blame any.
It's it's hard as a coach when you jump out to such a commanding lead and really had a fairly easy first period and things were just going in.
Yeah.
The power play finally clicked in. It's always a challenge for a coach to keep the mindset where it needs to be for the rest of the game. And I give credit to Gary for getting everybody refocused for the third period after a really lackluster second.
10 seconds to go.
Just gonna rag it here. That's it. That's a win. I believe that makes 5 in a row here for the Komets. So kudos to Gary and the boys for getting the job done. One more tomorrow, if I do believe.
Yeah, we've got Kalamazoo in here tomorrow afternoon.
Sometimes it's what's difficult when you have schedules like this, and they play a hard-fought division game in Indianapolis, overtime game. They're competing with Indy for playoff position, and then you come back, you play a Utah team that's out of division, but it's in your conference. You're up 4-0. Your gears start to change a little bit, and now they got to get it revved back up again for a third period here, and then again for a division opponent tomorrow in Kalamazoo, who's really battling themselves. So these are tough weekends when you see different games like that.
Well, we appreciate the coach for coming in again tonight, and always look forward to having you visit with us and giving us your expertise. Big win, Komets, 6-4 over the Utah Grizzlies. Brian Gratz, thank you very much.
Appreciate you having me again.
Otto Boucher, myself, Randy Markin behind the camera. Big win for the Comets. It's 5 in a row, unbeaten in 2019. We'll be back with another Comet Hockey Game of the Week.